everybody, this is Johnny here with Team Legit, and today I'm here with Bob.
Hello everyone.
Wait, not Bob, I'm here with Ian.
Oh man.
Hey guys.
Yeah, we got that cleared up. Alright, no offense to Bob, but Bob had a really bad accident lately, and we're going to go ahead and put him on blast right now and talk about his accident. He's behind the camera. This is something that actually is pretty important to talk about. Bob had a prop accident. I know you guys see him on the groups and you guys see him on Facebook and whatnot. Well, it happened to one of our team members and it was completely accidental. Bob was working on one of his planes, forgot to take the prop off. Something happened with the aircraft, went into failsafe, and it flew off the table. He tried to catch it, put a nice gash in his arm. How many stitches did you get?
It was 10. Nice.
10 stitches.
Nice trip to the emergency room.
Anyway, we hope Bob has a swift recovery and he get his flying fingers back. But today's not about Bob or his fingers. Today is about, what do we got today, Ian?
We have minis.
Looks like minis are all the craze these days. Everybody's talking about mini this, mini that. Well, we got something mini, but it's not a mini quad like you would think. Today we've got the
Mini Sky Hunters.
ta-da! We've got two of them here. These just came to us from ReadymadeRC. We've got two, like I said, one is the kit and one is the ARF. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and kind of put them up against each other, the ARF versus the kit. From what I see and hear so far, the ARF with the stock power plant is actually a pretty nice solid choice, and it does very well. It does run on 3S, so I don't know, some of you guys may have those 3S 2200s. You can stack them up in there together. But we're going to give you guys a quick unboxing. We're going to talk about it, and then I'll talk about a power plant that I'm planning on putting in here. Let's get these boxes cracked open.
Cool.
Let's do the ARF. The only reason I say the ARF is because it's got more components. So whatever this has, this guy's going to have. But this guy's going to have
we look at this one, we know what we're getting with both.
Exactly. Alright, so let's put this guy aside here. Alright, let's get this guy cracked open.
I've been very excited about this for a long time.
As you guys know, we're a really big fan of the Sky Hunter, the big brother. Actually, you can see this one's got a little bit of war wounds. We had a mishap while flying. A motor actually flew off. So it's something always make sure, you double check. So we're about a quarter mile out, motor came off, went down. Great flying aircraft. I'll end up repairing it, and we'll, put plenty of miles on it, just like any other aircraft. It always flies better after the first crash.
It looks like the second time that Lotus has gotten smashed up.
It is, actually. That Lotus is holding up pretty good. Alright, getting down to the Mini Sky Hunter. First thing we see right when you open it up, you get some nice stickers. These are the ReadymadeRC stickers. This aircraft is also available by Sonic Models. We'll see if we can try to get a link in the description below. But ReadymadeRC is the US-based vendor for these aircrafts. I suggest you get them through them because ReadymadeRC is just a great company to work with. And they've got these in stock, so you can get them in the US, shipped a little bit cheaper. Alright, let's get some parts out of here. Let's start pulling things out.
Well, I want this first, the juiciest piece. The fuselage, which this might be mini, but to me, this is going to be the largest fuselage I've ever put together.
That is actually a pretty nice looking fuse.
Most cavernous, I'll say that. This might be mini, but you can clearly fit a lot of stuff in here. What would it say?
Alright, so this looks like the fuse. It actually looks like a carbon copy, just shrunk down of the larger Mini Sky Hunter, the larger Sky Hunter. The only noticeable difference that I see so far between the two is that this guy has the motor recessed back here. I'm not sure exactly why they did that. On the large Sky Hunter, it's not very recessed. It's got the motor recessed back here. We've got the motor already installed in there. And it looks like we've got the ESC. We're running the Skywalker 30 amp ESC. These are actually really good ESCs. I've actually used these quite a bit on quadcopters and airplanes. But as far as the interior goes,
does it say what the BEC is on there?
It's got a 2 amp BEC, so okay. Probably enough to drive the basic servos. Yeah. The ailerons and elevator, you're only running 3 servos, so it'll probably be enough for that. If you guys are going to run large pan and tilts with like larger, maybe full-size servos, I would definitely cut out the BEC on the ESC and maybe run your own 5-volt BEC, maybe a Castle BEC or whatnot. Another thing that I noticed is a little bit different than the actual full-size one is interior. We've got a nice big wood plate right here. So the larger one doesn't have that. I don't know if that's maybe just...
Does it come with any wood structure?
Actually, it does not. It does come with one wood structure, and this guy has the same wood structure. And this is actually the little shelf that's in here for all your FPV gear, for your flight controller and your things like that. and it does slide. So if you need to move this around for your CG,
That is very cool.
that's definitely in there. Looking down a little bit closer, I see a couple little holes right here on the top of the airframe. It looks like this is probably where the wings will attach. So there's some threaded screws up inside the wood panels there. Comes with the magnet up here on the nose. I can't remember if the large Skyhunter comes with the magnet. I don't think, or I believe it does. It comes with a plate, but this guy's got a little magnet.
Frankly, what I like to do is, even on planes that have magnetic holds for canopies, I like to put my own rubber bands around them. I never trust a magnet to hold on a canopy when that can be vital to the plane's survival, you know?
It is, and you always want to make sure you strengthen things up a little bit. So we've got here the removable, I guess you would say pod or the canopy. You got the second stage of the canopy that comes off. This is also magnetic. So if you're going to put your FPV gear on here, it's got a nice place to put it. If you're going to end up using the plane for line of sight, you can live the little cap.
I really like this concept because what it does is it allows you to either have a very aerodynamic front of the plane, or you have a front that's very conducive to mounting flat material. As much as I love my Twin Dream, that's an aircraft where it has a flat front for mounting camera equipment, but if you don't have something up there, it kind of creates some aerodynamic drag that you don't otherwise need. So this is a great system. In fact, what I would personally love would be if ReadymadeRC or anybody really offered this as a unique part, so that if you have this plane, you could build out more than one of these with different camera mounts and then swap them in and out.
Exactly. Like if you want to say run maybe a Mobius for recording and you get those aerial shots, or maybe you just want to fly around FPV and you don't really care what you record, throw your FPV camera on there.
I like to glue all sorts of stuff on here. So
yeah, I do know that there is in the works a CXN style pod for this. I think the CXN pods are really good, and most of the time they are very functional. However, on an aircraft this size, I think it's going to be too heavy. I mean, this is a smaller aircraft, and whenever you scale down in size, you have to remember weight. Things add up very quickly on these type of aircraft. So if you start adding a lot of weight, it's going to change the flight characteristics, and it's going to change the way it flies. So be mindful of that. All right, so we talked about the fuse. This is a really nice looking
one more thing to mention is I love these cutouts on both sides.
Yeah, both sides
Yeah,
for
both
getting
sides.
into FPV
Now,
gear.
I don't think those are actually scored. I think these are just visual if you want to cut into them yourself. But it's great that they're just there for marking.
I wouldn't personally use them. It would just reduce the strength of the airframe. But they are there. I know Skywalker is synonymous with those.
It's a DIY.
It is.
Thing
It is
if
a
you want to
DIY
get in,
thing.
because
Maybe
if
put
you're
a
doing
hatch on
that,
one
you
side.
might strengthen it yourself anyway. So.
True. I would probably just put some decals of a bunch of children inside of a school bus, because that's what I think about the Skyhunter. When it's flying, it's like a giant school bus, can carry loads and loads of weight. Speaking about cutouts, got a nice little spot right here for your finger launches. Boom, football style chuck.
Which we'll have to try and practice. I'm a little skeptical. I like a nice firm grip on my plane, especially when you've got a
prop back
Bob
there.
knows what I'm talking about. When you got a prop back there and holding it by a dainty finger, I don't know how much.
I've got large
We'll
hands.
see how it works.
I've got large hands, and I can get a full firm grip on this. I cannot grip the full Skyhunter, fully. It's mostly a kind of a trust and weight type hold. But on this guy, got a firm grip. I mean, are we going to use that? I don't know.
We'll find out.
All right, let's move on to the rest of the kit. I'm going to go ahead and move straight back to the tail section real quick, because I just pulled out the vertical stabilizers, and there's something that's very, very unique on these. They're hinged.
Wow.
For a rudder?
For two rudders.
For two rudders, dual rudder. That is actually a big plus on the Skyhunter.
Now, Johnny, was that broken when you first picked it up, or did you snap it yourself?
It was broken already. I mean, I could probably work it and strengthen it up. If you don't intend to run rudder, just take some clear Scotch tape, put it over here, and it'll be enough to hold it straight. But I'm actually going to try the.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go ahead and try the rudder, because that's one gripe that I have about the large Skyhunter. When we're coming in for landings in like tight runways and places like that, you have no authority to change your yaw. You only can bank and yank. So I think the rudder would actually help with those nice scale style landings, and also when we land in like tight spaces, you don't have to come in, if you got a crosswind, you don't have to come in, far and then gauge your landing with the crosswind. So rudder addition to this is a really nice touch. Will they implement it on the large one? We can only hope.
Another thing is that if you want to run a stabilization system, depending on what system you have, some of them don't like rudder. Some of them like using a rudder a lot, so that may you might actually be able to get more stable footage with the addition of a rudder.
Exactly. I think the MyFly Dream definitely uses a rudder. Uses it for changing the heading. So really cool touch. How well is it going to work? How good is it going to be? I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. I will put my kit version to the test with rudder. If you want to add yours to rudder as well, you can do that. Let's move on to the next thing. We're going to work our way forward now. We've got, like I said, this is the ARF model, and the servo is already added to the elevator. And I'm going to go ahead and just say, big, huge thumbs up right now. They put the elevator on top of the elevator servo on top. Now, this is something...
Are you sure?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean,
There's stuff on the bottom.
There's stuff on the bottom, but I'm going to say that this is going to be the top. I'm almost certain. And the reason they...
Yeah, because the rudder would go down through those holes.
Exactly, yeah, the vertical. But this is amazing because I had to modify my large Sky Hunter for the servo to go on top. When you're coming in for a landing and you get down, and once you touch down, you know, the tail tends to drop. You land on your servos, you land on your control horn, and actually that was a cause of one of my crashes in El Mirage. I landed on the tail servo and it had busted, so I had to swap it out. You know, whatever. That's pretty cool. Plus, and also there's a nice big bubble here. So I'm.
I like that. So it's
when
not
you come in and land, nothing is touching.
I wondered about before we took a look at this just now. I was thinking of putting a servo in a very thin control surface like this. I was thinking it might be weak, but there's a nice bulge in the foam there that I don't think strength is going to be a problem.
I think that's a really, really good touch that they added there. I'm just doing a couple little dry fits here, and I just wanted to see real quick how this connects, and it looks like this is going to be a very quick build. Oops, let's make sure it goes on there the correct way. Yeah, it looks like it goes right in there. The holes line up. I'm assuming the screws drive straight through, hold the horizontal stabilizer in place. Looks like we've got the other one here. And there is our tail section. Gosh, this is a really quick dry fit, and actually seems like everything just fits. So it looks like 8 screws, and the tail section is done. Is that... What
you
it
know
looks
what
like to you?
You know what I just noticed? The tail itself, it has a very small piece of foam cut out on the front there.
Okay.
And if you're not careful, you can kind of rip it off. I mean, how important it is, probably not very.
Probably not that aerodynamically important, but it's still a pretty.
If you're
factor.
going to glue it in, or if you're going to add glue on top of the screws, you want as much surface as you can get. So just be careful.
So
fitting that in.
we did a quick dry fit, and it looks like 8 screws, and your tail section is connected. You know what that tells me? That tells me that this aircraft would be a good aircraft to take with you traveling because it could break down very small and compact.
Very, very much so.
If you can get yourself a nice long toolbox, maybe to fit the wings, you can probably take this thing with you, you know, on your travels.
In fact, Johnny, that's the very reason that I am very excited about this airplane, because I've been searching for a while for a bigger FPV plane that will fit in a small suitcase. That I can take in checked luggage. So
yeah, that'll actually be pretty cool.
I'm looking forward to trying that out.
All right, so let's move on from the tail section here. I've been kind of postponing and delaying talking about the wings specifically. Reason for that is these wings are not scaled to the actual full-size Sky Hunter. And the reason I say scale, the full-size Sky Hunter wings are completely square. They're squared off on the end, and they're completely flat throughout the actual wing. These wings got some dihedral. Now, the dihedral there is probably to help with stability on a smaller aircraft, and maybe to help those trainer flyers or whatnot. If you're flying and you let go of the sticks, it will have some corrective properties with the dihedral.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. And it's also got a little bit of a winglet style here on the top. This is usually there to help keep the air that's flowing over the wing from sliding off the edges. So that'll actually help with a little bit more inherent stability. Something else that was included in the hardware pack, and we actually had to think about what they were. There's 2 plexiglass looking plates here. And I actually looked at these first and I said, oh, the factory left a part of their mold or something in there. And then after we kind of did a little bit of placement, they got these really nice, they're pretty thick too, and pretty heavy.
Maybe fiberglass, you think?
I would say, yeah, glass fiber, fiberglass, whatever you want to call it.
Surprisingly stiff.
Yeah. Stiff, but heavy. I mean, these feel inherently heavy. These are actually support plates for the actual wings, and they go right into the smallest section of the wing. The great thing about this is a lot of this larger Sky Hunter guys will know that when you have these long tail booms in here in this wing section, and you go to pitch up on the plane, all of the weight and all the force from the elevator pulling up is pretty much exerted on this part of the aircraft. And if you have a nice pod here with a larger size battery in there, you're going to put a lot of force on this section of the wing. So adding these little fiberglass supports is a really, really great touch.
Not to mention in a rough landing, where if you come in at a high, kind of a high alpha angle, like
Exactly.
we do sometimes by accident, when the tail strikes the ground, that adds a lot more strength. And I think the reason why they did this is because since the wing is thinner than on the original, it probably has a lot less strength, especially on that trailing edge. So
Correct. Yep.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, we're actually, I'm actually pretty impressed with that. Now, it feels a little bit flimsy, and that's probably because of the main spar is not in there. Let's get the main spar in there. Let's put the other wing in there. Let's do some comparison and some measurements. So they call for 1238 millimeters, so about 1250 millimeters, which comes out to, did you measure it already?
I think between 48 and 49 inches.
Okay,
in,
so
the archaic parts of the world.
Let's round up and say 49. And so it's got a 49-inch wingspan. You know what? Let's compare it to the Bixler. We've got a Bixler 3 here.
Just so happened. Well, a 2, but the third one, the 3 is the same size.
So comparing this to the Bixler here, we've got the wings set up here. The Bixler seems like it's got a little bit wider chords. So the
but both a is that what you call it, a chord?
Chord, yeah,
The wing is both deeper and
a little bit
longer.
wider.
So a plane like the Bixler, the Sky Surfer, is going to have a lot more wing area than the Mini Sky Hunter.
And this one actually also has flaps installed, but you know that's just a added bonus for that. But what this aircraft doesn't have is cargo space.
Mm-hmm.
It does not compare to the Mini Sky Hunter's cargo space. Mm-hmm. So that's one plus there.
So I'm thinking with a lot more cargo space and actually less wing area, I'm thinking you're going to be able to go a lot faster for longer than you can with the Bixler. You can make a Bixler go fast, but it wastes a lot of juice to push this much area through the air. And I expect the Mini Sky Hunter to be a lot better at the higher end of the flight envelope.
I agree, and also as far as the range capabilities, I think the Mini Sky Hunter will be better at range. And the reason for that is it's just faster. It just can get to where it needs to go and back. I do want to compare the wings to one other aircraft. This is my personal favorite aircraft, and the reason I want to compare it to this aircraft, we're also going to do the flight characteristics compared to this aircraft as well too, is because this is the only other aircraft that I think falls in the same class or category of the Mini Sky Hunter, and that is my third Mini Talon. So this is probably my favorite aircraft for mid to long range flying in my fleet. It's just an overall great flyer. Let's check the wing area comparison. Wow, it looks like they're almost identical.
The Talon might have an extra inch or two on span, but it's got a much
wider chord.
Much more wing area, actually.
A lot more, almost double, I would say. I'd probably say about at least a third more.
Probably.
So that's one thing that the Mini Talon's got on there. And the other thing the Mini Talon, I think, takes over is the payload capacity. This Mini Talon can definitely take a lot more weight, and it has a lot more room to finagle things and move things around.
But although they might be the same class of aircraft, I think this is still a substantially larger, heavier aircraft.
I think so too. I think so too.
Guy.
Because, I mean, if you compare the large Sky Hunter to the large Talon, those are pretty much comparable aircraft, except for the large Talon, again, does its job better because it flies faster. It can get the range that you need to get out of it. All right, anything else?
Johnny, did you know one of my favorite things about this design that I've never personally seen before are these guys?
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah.
Which are video transmitter, radio receiver cutouts. One thing I'll confess I hate is cutting my own cutouts out of the wing because I usually mess it up and it ends up being ugly and weak, and they've kind of done that for us.
That's actually a really nice touch. I didn't notice that.
I'm going to use those.
Yeah, definitely. You can put your receiver on the wing. If you're running a PPM receiver, run 4 wires total. Your ground power, your PPM signal, and your RSSI into your flight controller, and you put your video transmitter out on the other end. There's 2 carbon fiber strips that were added in there. I just kind of want to see where those go.
I've seen what it's for, and as soon as we find them, I'll explain. Here they are. Okay, added to the kit. They're very small. You might miss them if you're not careful. Are these two thin carbon strips? And where these actually go? These go in the wing, but there's no there's no scoring and there's no indication. It's a little bit of a extra you have to do yourself.
Okay.
But the way these work is you take a measuring device or just a straight edge, something like this, and you cut just a single slit. There's nothing three-dimensional to it. You just cut a slit, if I can hold this, down the wing like that. Maybe a eighth of an inch deep. Not much.
An inch, probably about an inch and a half away from the leading edge.
You just take some CA and press this in to the slit, and this is so thin that just one X-Acto knife line.
We'll get
These will stuff
so
into
these
it.
are
And
just added support for the wingtips.
They're added strength for the wingtips, and they'll do a lot to strengthen out there, because I believe the central rod only comes out to about here.
There. Yeah, I can see that in the foam.
If you want to go a little bit high speed,
nice touch.
you might want to do that.
And these actually carbon fiber rods look exactly the same. Looks like 1 millimeter by, I'd say 3 millimeter. Probably come in a 750 size. These are the exact same carbon fiber rods that we use to strengthen the legit wings. So they go one across the bottom, bow on the top. So this does a lot in the horizontal way, not so much in the I guess vertical.
Which is new for me, because I've never put this kind of thing into a plane before. And at first I was thinking these don't look very strong at all, but it's in the other axis that they're very stiff.
Very rigid, and once you glue them in, they will definitely stay in there.
Definitely doing that.
Anything else other than how excited we are about this aircraft?
I'm very excited about this aircraft.
We ordered quite a bit of these. We have a lot of them coming in. We also have the Sonic model coming in. So if there is any significant changes, we'll let you guys know on the bottom. I highly doubt it. Most of the time with these type of aircraft, they're just rebranded, and one vendor sells it, one way or not. But we really like ReadymadeRC. We like to support ReadymadeRC as much as possible. I don't know if I'm going to do a build video for this. Pretty straightforward.
It's so simple. I mean, I think we pretty much did one just now. You put some. It's all screws.
Yeah.
In fact, is there any glue on this model at all?
I didn't see any at all.
Aside from the carbon strips, if you want to do those, they're optional. In terms of things that aren't optional, I don't see any glue at all. Normally with these kits they include a freebie tube, something.
Depends on who they come from.
You're right. And I don't see anything. So, oh, you do have to glue those in.
Yeah, these. That's what I was just gonna say. I have to glue these in.
And I don't think those are optional. I think you.
No,
well, I mean, they might technically be optional, but I think you want to.
I would run those in, and probably use some contact cement would be your best bet. So, is there anything else you can think of?
I just can't wait till we get a couple of these built.
I'm really excited too. So guys, if you guys like watching these videos, make sure you guys click the like button. We got a little bonus for you guys today. We also got the Mako. Now, we ordered this directly from Sonic Model, but this is also carried from ReadymadeRC. We're going to give you guys a quick unboxing. If you just click on the second half of this video, you guys can see the quick unboxing of this aircraft as well. This is the Mako. It's also a smaller FPV style aircraft. Talking about all those minis and everything all around.
This is the theme of the day.
Theme of the day. Alright guys, again, we do want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to click the subscribe button if you like what you see, if you guys like these FPV videos, if you guys like the banter between me and the rest of the team and things like that. If you guys haven't had a chance yet, don't forget to check out our new website, the team-legit.com is the new website. It's completely revamped. We've got it much better working. It's got better videos on there, better engine for your store. We got a lot of new products. We've got a lot of new things on the store. Speaking about a lot of cool products on the store, we've got these keychains listed on the store. This is a quick shameless plug. These are the Team Legit keychains. They say Team Legit on one side, remove pilot before flight. We thought that was really cool. I went out to the airport with one of my buddies. He had a bunch of these little red strips that said remove before flight. And he was yanking them off of different little things and pulling them off of locks. And I said, you know what? With us, we actually removed the pilot. So I thought it'd be a really cool little conversation piece, really high quality. The funds from the purchase of these go to support the team. It helps us with getting new equipment, new things for you guys to review. And it also helps with helping Team Legit sponsor and support different FPV events in the community for giveaways, for prizes and things like that. So we try to do our best in giving back to the community.
If you live in SoCal, you might benefit from that. And if you don't live in SoCal, come visit.
And you still will benefit from it.
And you'll come visit.
So, yeah, other than that, thanks for watching. I'm Johnny logging out.
And this is Ian.
Ian, not Ethan. Thanks for watching, guys. Speaking about minis, we've got another mini aircraft for you guys today. This is the Mako. This aircraft is made by Sonic Models. The first thing you see when you open the box, you've got this really nice looking airframe. This is a EPO model.
I see they accidentally sent you a submarine.
Yeah, it actually looks like a submarine.
If you want to build the underwater version of this, you simply leave the wings off.